Hello everyone, my name is Cheng of Hun Hun, and today I will read book name. Mm, I will read books, and the books I will read today. Mm, I will read today is Go to the Circus. Now let's read. On the warm spring day, the hopper sat in class. Who knows that what's happening tonight? The teacher asked. The hopper raised their hand and wiggled in their ear. I know, shouted Bruno. The circus is coming. All the students were excited. Their teacher helped them cut a circus animal shape. They made a big tent out of paper. They drew and colored a little merry-go-round. At playtime, they played tappers on the swings. Rupert Nose played a lion, and Speedy Legs was the lion tamer. The hopper couldn't wait to go to the circus. They ran home and asked Mom, Hopper, can we go to the circus? Asked City Legs. Can we hear the band play? Asked Floppy Ears. Can we watch the tabard artist? Begged Floppy Tail. I want to see an elephant, cried Floppy Nose. I'm sorry, Little Hopper, but we don't have money for the circus, said the mom hopper. The four hoppers sat sadly on their doorstep. They didn't want to play anymore. The only thing they could think to play was circus. They could almost smell the popcorn. Why so sad, Hopper? Asked the voice. Grandma Marisa came up the ladder. We can't go to the circus because we don't have money. Why, Rubber Nose? Oh, I think you'll find money, said Grandpa Chris. He reached his paw to Swift Nose shirt pocket and pulled a shiny silver coin. The other hopper reached in their shirt pocket, and they all found silver coins. Many more that were inside Grandpa Gray's pocket. He gave some to Mother Hopper, and all of them went to the circus. Thanks for Grandpa Gris, shrieked the hoppers. They bought lemonade and popcorn. They saw a horse bounce around the rings. They saw the faces horses fly in the air, and the snow was over. It is time to go home, said Grandpa Chris. But Stephanos didn't want to leave. He cried and screamed, I'm going to join the circus, said Stephanos. He ran to the back of the tent where the crowd were getting ready to leave. I want to join the circus, Rubino told Ground. Did you ask your mother? Asked one Ground. The circus is a lot of hard work, we said another crowd. Careful, they taking down the tent, said the third. Rubino try some more. Then one Ground reached in back and pointed a drum. Another out of flute, and the third back, and the third had two horns. Now you can play circus music at home. See the crowd? Rubino stopped right. He took the persons back to the other hoppers. They played the flute. Um, um, they uh, they played the flute and drums and horns at the way home. Mm, Thanks you. Now I will read another. With minute. Now I will share now sound for you. Where? Notice. This is it. Hmm.
Dr. King's Memorial, written by Kira Freed. Focus question: who was Dr. King, and why is he important? Introduction. A memorial in Washington, D.C. honors Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. The memorial has a large sculpture of Dr. King and famous words that he said. The time is always right to do what is right. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Who was Dr. King, and why do we remember him? Dr. King was a great leader. He wanted equal rights for all people, no matter their race or color. The South. Dr. King grew up in Georgia, a state in the South, in the 1930s. Racism was common in the South, and many laws were unfair to black people. The laws kept black people and white people separate from each other. Black children had to go to different schools from white children. Black people had to use different drinking fountains from white people. Laws said black people had to sit at the backs of city buses. The front seats were only for white people. Black people also rode in different railroad cars than white people. Black people weren't allowed to use the same restrooms as white people. Dr. King's work. Dr. King wanted the unfair laws to change. He wanted the laws to treat people of all races equally. He talked to many people about how to change the laws. Hate will never end hate. Only love will end hate. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Dr. King wanted to use peaceful ways to make changes. He said there was already too much hate in the world to use violence. Do you know? Rosa Parks would not give up her seat at the front of a bus in 1955. She was arrested. People around the country heard about it. Her courage helped change the unfair laws. Dr. King and other leaders marched with many people as a peaceful way to fight racism. They hoped to get the unfair laws changed. They also protested racism by peacefully refusing to follow the unfair laws. For example, they held sit-ins. They sat at diner counters where only white people were allowed to sit. Refusing to move, some people were arrested by the police, including Dr. King. New laws. Dr. King and other leaders worked hard for years. In 1964, the government changed the unfair laws. The new laws are fairer. It is now against the law to treat people differently because of their race. Black children and white children can go to the same schools. Everyone can sit where they want on buses and trains and in restaurants. The same water fountains and restrooms can be used by every race. Dr. King's dream. Dr. King wanted all people to be free under the law. He wanted laws that were fair to everyone. He dreamed that people of every color would get along. Today, the laws are fairer, but there is still work to be done. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. When people visit his memorial, they remember Dr. King and his dream of fair laws and free people. They carry on his work.
Good job.
Now I will read the book named Dr. King's Memorial. Introductions. A memorial in Washington, D.C. honor Miss mm, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The memorial has a large sculpture of Dr. King and a famous word that he said. The time is always right. The dude is right. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Who was Luther King and why do we remember him? Luther King was a great leader. He wanted and could right for all people, no matter their race or color. The church, the church grew up in Glasgow and staged in the South in 1930. Racism was common in the South and many laws were unfair to black people. The laws kept black people and white removed from each other. Black children had to go to different schools from white children. Um, black people had to use black people had to use different drinking fountain from white people. Laws said black people had to sit at the back of city buses. The front seats were only for white people. Black people also rode in a different railroad called that black white people. Black people weren't allowed to use the same restroom as white people. Dr. King's work. Dr. King wants the unfair laws to change. He wants the laws to treat people of all race equally. He talked to many people around how to change the laws. Hate will never end hate. Only love will end hate. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Luther King Jr. wants to use beautiful ways to make change. He said there was already too much hate in the world to use violence. Mm, do you know? Do you know? Rose Park would not give up her seat at the front of a bus in 1955. She was a great pupil around the country hear about it. Her courage helped change the upper laws. Mm, Third Kings with an altar leader matches with mm, many people as a peaceful way to fight racism. They help to get the unfair laws checked. They also protect residents by peaceful refusing to follow the unfair laws. For example, they held cities. They sat at dinner couches. Mm, People refused to follow the unfair law. For example, the hill citizens. They sat at dinner couches. Only white people were allowed to sit. Mm, Refused to move. Some people were arrested by the police, including Dr. King. New laws. Dr. Kings and other leaders worked hard for years. In 1964, the government changed the unfair laws. The new laws were fairer. This is now against the laws to treat people differently because of their race. Black people and white children can go to the same school. People can sit where they want on buses and trains. And in restaurants, the same water fountain and a restroom can be used by every race. 13.3. 13 wants all people to be free under a law. He wants laws that were fair to people. He dreamed that people of every color would get along. Today, the laws were fairer, but there's still work to be done. There, if I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. When people visit the memory garden, they remember their king and his dream of fair laws, and the free people they care of his work. Thanks you
Good
for
job.
watching my video. Please like for me. Thank you very much. Bye.